What's up, bros and hoes, whatever floats your goat? It's Relentless here, bringing you yet another Division video. And before we get into today's video, I want to apologize for not uploading as much. As most of you know, that's in the Revolution Gaming community on Facebook, and that link is in the description below, that I'm having some health issues that has put some strain on my uploading, and also my PS4 hard drive has crapped out on me. But fear not, I will be bringing you more content as the days to come. I'm just waiting on Amazon to ship me my new PS4 Pro, and all will be good. But today we're going to be talking about the 1.7 Week 3 patch notes and the thoughts and aspects of it. Let's start with global events. Loot changes. As a first attempt to tweak acquisition rate of classified gear, our approach was to refocus the caches to make sure they provide something relevant. To keep things balanced, we modified the rhythm by which caches can be obtained, now that we're sure that will provide something of use. Increased the price of superior caches to $1,500 from $650, increased the price of regular caches to $900 from $350, and increased the token drop. Superior caches will now drop only one item. This item will be either a gear set, exotic, or classified quality. The chances of this item being exotic or classified have been increased. Vanity rewards are now awarded in leaderboard caches only. On Outbreak, added a new stat for number of group headshots completed after you tag the enemy. Fixed the bug where a player dying from contamination would be shown as having killed himself. Fixed the bug where global events would not be sorted alphabetically in the help menu. Now moving on to commendations. They have fixed a bug where a reward section would be shown in the UI of commendations that do not yield any reward. And one of the big issues that I found when I was on the PTS on console was the recalibration, and finally they are getting around to it. Gear recalibration has been reactivated and made temporarily free on the PTS for testing purposes. Now this mainly is for the PC. We will be yet to get this patch on console. Hopefully we'll get it within the next week, but we're pretty much a week behind, if not more, than PC. But moving on, let's go to the classified gear. 6 pieces. We're talking striker. Every hit adds a self-healing bonus for 0.01% of max health instead of 0.1% of max health per second. This bonus is further increased by 0.03% instead of 0.01% for every 2,000 stamina. Stacks up to 100 hits. Bonus is reduced by 0.01% instead of 0.1% every second. The 4 pieces and 6 pieces talents will now be paused by an EMP effect instead of being completely reset. For example, 1. 4,000 stamina and 100 stack. PTS 2, 12% health per second, 10% plus 2% on the PTS week 3. Now it is 7% health per second, 1% to 6%. Now moving on to, well, let's not get too carried away on the whole striker thing. I know there's a lot of grievances out there on the Ubisoft forums, on Reddit, and all over social media when it concerning this I don't know, striker epidemic, if you want to call it that. I'm pretty sure things will be straightened out. There are ways to still be, you know, fix or modify things so that way they will be more balanced, and you won't see, you know, people spamming, you know, the SG12. And also it's been rumored and posted on several forums as far as modded controllers more or less being detected, which falls along the line of a RPM limit set, to where in game a particular weapon or all weapons cannot exceed a particular RPM. That can be monitored, and so that way you can't just have a modded rapid fire controller and spam L2 R2 and just hold in, you know, R2 and completely have like an automatic shotgun that's pretty much like the showstopper, but an SG12. So have no fear. I think they'll work things out. Now moving on to Lone Star, as in my previous video I stated that they needed a buff. And as you know, I was correct, and also those that was on my live stream also commented on this. Y'all were correct as well. Lone Star in the previous iteration, relatively low percentage change of gaining the buff mixed with the inability to chain buffs together greatly reduced the impact of the set. In this update, the chance of gaining the Berserk buff has been increased, and the players can now chain multiple Berserk buffs together. 5 pieces LMG shotgun damage bonus increased to 12% instead of 8%. Now, this gear set can directly compete with the high-end Skull Gloves build that I call the Skull build, because basically the Skull Gloves themselves give you the 16% extra bonus damage, and then you can accompany that with a Tenacious Mask, and even throw in a Reckless chest piece, specialized backpack, you know, even short bow knee pads, Colonel Bliss holster, you know, mix and match, just whatever you prefer. Or you can actually throw in classified, you know, gear set pieces, as you've seen on the live stream, with my Skull build that I actually had, and it bumped my DPS up well over 100k, and my base damage up 300k. Oh, not 300k, but 3000k. So I was completely shredding, you know, with the Skull build. And at the time, on week 1 PTS on console, it was the only thing that was competing, or that I found that could compete with the people that are non-stop, just don't want to test anything else, but, you know, run around with Striker SA SG12s. So if you're out there still on the PTS, please test everything. There's a lot of people out there that still love this game, still play this game, that still cover this game, and those that, you know, quit on the game. I'm not going to name the content creators, but they're a lot bigger than I am, and you know, they don't necessarily do PvP. They're specifically PvE. You know, they said they weren't going to cover it anymore, but now they are back. So either they're just looking for, you know, content to put on their channel, or they're actually, you know, are falling back in love with the game because they see the changes that are coming. Now, the 6 pieces of Lone Star, when a weapon has 50% instead of 25% of its magazine remaining, there is a 75% chance instead of 50% chance to receive a bonus that activates when the final bullet is fired from the current magazine. Once activated, the magazine is instantly refilled. Weapon damage is increased by 20% instead of 15%. Fire rate is increased by 20% instead of 25%, and stability and accuracy are decreased to 0 instead of decreased by 15%. The bonus is cancelled by reloading or exiting combat. 6 pieces, the bonus can now trigger of itself with diminishing chances. This means that each time that you reload or whatever, the bonus triggers, the chance for it to trigger again is reduced until the player exits combat or reloads. Improvements were made to the visual feedback of the 6-piece bonus. Fixed a bug where the 6 pieces bonus could be activated when shooting while out of combat. And it's one good thing to note here also that you pretty much basically have to have 6 pieces of classified gear to have actually all 6-piece bonuses to be activated. You can't just have like 4 classified gear and then like 2 of the older pieces, such as like, you know, 4 classified Lone Star, and then, you know, 2 older Lone Star that you already had. No, it has to be all 6 classified. Now moving on to final measure. Our goal, they say, was for all the buffs to temporarily be very impactful to your playstyle in different ways. The way armor was being calculated was unintentional and has been fixed to be an additive increase to your armor mitigation. 6 pieces, all bonuses received from diffusing grenades are increased to 20% instead of 15%. This bonus is now a flat armor base instead of a multiplication of the existing armor value. This means that if your armor damage mitigation is at 35%, receiving the final measure buff will increase it to 55%. And then they fixed the description to correctly refer the fragmentation grenades instead of HE grenades. Now moving on to Reclaimer. We wanted the classified Reclaimer to be the ultimate support healer build. This led us to the new iteration, which allows players building purposefully to guarantee that their cooldown resets when their station is destroyed by an enemy. 6-piece support station gains a 50% chance instead of a 25% chance to to have no cooldown triggered when it is destroyed by an enemy. This chance is increased by 10% instead of 2% for every 2,000 electronics instead of 1,000. Path of the Nomad. Fixed a display bug where the talent cooldown icon would not display after the talent effect was triggered. And the Deadeye, 4 pieces, fixed a bug where headshot damage would do less damage than body shot damage when scoped in PvP. 6 pieces, fixed a bug where the bonus would trigger with any weapon type instead of only marksman rifles, and also fixed a bug where deconstructing a classified gear piece would not yield any material. And as we all know, that Deadeye is getting nerfed as well as the SVD, and something to have to do with the SASG 12. Now moving on to skills. EMP Sticky Bomb no longer staggers the enemy. Fixed a bug where with First Aid Defibrillator, where a player equipped with a vigorous chest rolling into the area would only receive the instant heal and not the heal over time. Weapons added a hard cap on RPM, like I was talking about earlier. For all weapons, it will no longer be possible to overcome the RPM limitation of a weapon, no matter what shooting method is used. So, if I know people out there, I mean, you can buy them, you can make them yourself. It's easy, a little solder, a chip, and you can make your own rapid fire controller to make a semi-auto weapon such as an MP5 burst fire weapon or a pistol or even a marksman rifle to fire as an automatic. Well, now they have the RPM limit, so that'll actually fix all those cheesers out there. Also, they fixed a bug where the Bacon's talent could be staked if the could be stacked. Fixed a bug where it could be stacked repeatedly. The UI fixed a bug where a dead group member would still appear as unconscious in the group UI. Fixed a bug in the group management menu where the agent details could overlap with the server warning for connection to host server. Fixed several instances of debug text appearing in the UI. For survival mode, they fixed a bug where mods could not be equipped on items in survival. And the other fixes fixed a bug where equipping the pork pie hat would make it appear on your character's feet instead of your head. Yeah, that's definitely something that should have got a lot of attention, I guess a lot more than other things. Not. But they also fixed a bug where players receiving a burn status effect right after throwing a grenade or a throwable skill would disappear or disable the grenade or skill. So basically, they're covering, their tracks. They're trying to improve the game as much as possible. I commend Massive and Redstorm for doing this. So big shout outs to all of them and to the other content creators out there that had fell off on making content to Division. Welcome back. Glad you're back. Glad to have you back covering these things because there's a lot of information that's coming out. There's still a lot of testing to be done. So if you're on the PTS, please test as many things as possible. Don't just pick, the greatest thing out there and just run with it and just try to wreak havoc in the DZ. But please try to test everything possible because we love this game. We want to continue playing this game. There's just something about it that keeps pulling us back. And as long as they keep implementing new and fun changes that, require, adaptation to it, then this game is going to continue to be fun and be fun for years to come. And hopefully they can take what we learned from the Division 1, and if there is a Division 2, they can apply it there and be a even much better game. Yes, it has its bugs. You've heard me rant about it all along from the start, but every game has its bugs, and everybody is going to have their little rants here and there when they come into situations and having to deal with bugs in game and along these things, and people do get salty. But thankfully, better late than never, Massive, I should say, But continue to do what you do. Ground and pound that like and subscribe button. Like I said, due to health reasons, I've been slower on my uploads, but I appreciate you guys so much for sticking around and showing your love and support and supporting the channel. So click on those Gleam links in the description below. Also, if you wish to donate to Revolution Gaming or the channel or Revolution Gaming's Facebook, their links is in the description below. Also, that awesome t-shirt link is in the description below, and that giveaway of the PS4 Pro and also the Xbox Scorpio or X to come is still up for grabs. Now, they're sitting right in front of me, and I could easily take them out of the box and, you know, bring you more content, but I refuse to because I feel that I'm an honorable person, and those are to be given away to my subs and my fans out there that like and subscribe to the channel. But thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys fudging later.